Well, greetings, flute players, and welcome back to this Learn Flute Online channel where we are always talking about everything flute and how to improve and enjoy. Today we're diving into the fundamentals of flute playing and giving you a helpful and progressive overview of these 5 levels of flute breathing, easy to pro. Now, whether you are a beginner or more seasoned, mastering your breathing is essential for producing beautiful, clear tones and maintaining control over your instrument. So let's explore these 5 levels of flute breathing from easy to pro so you can get an idea of how it goes as you learn and grow. Stay for the entire video because I have special tips for each level to help you as well. So you can listen to these and even try to rate yourself to see where you think you are right now in your current stage of development. So at first, when you're starting to learn to play the flute, you feel like you're kind of in survival. Well, don't worry, it doesn't stay this way. And the reason I say this is because you'll just be learning how to position everything, and just even getting a tone out is really a new challenge at first. You'll most likely have a large aperture. Now, the word aperture is referring to the hole that we make in our lips where the air comes out. And it's mostly likely so big that this level 1 player that we're talking about will have extra air escaping all over the place. And this extra air is what is responsible for making a player at this stage run out of breath very quickly. Usually taking breaths at this stage is kind of shallow, and there are things to look forward to learning for sure. Now, playing 1 or 2 notes before falling completely apart is very normal. There's nothing wrong with being in this stage. I call this the folk level, and everyone has to go through it. And improvement will be relatively quick with good direction and effective practice, which, don't forget, I can give you. I'm here for you, and we'll get you over this stage in no time. Now, one tip to improve at this level 1 stage is keep at it. Work on the skill of tonguing and pay attention to what is working. Now, let me cut the learning curve, and I will guide you. We got this. So level 2 is where our embouchure is starting to develop a bit. And the word embouchure refers not only to our lips, but also our face and all of the muscles that it takes to control creating a tone on our flute. Now, usually at this stage, we can tongue and slur some short phrases with even a mix of simpler articulation. And this really just means that when we take a breath in, our skills are becoming effective enough to make the air that we've taken in last long enough to go through a few little articulation phrases, and we're learning to press it out for a few notes at a time. Now, I call this the Minuet level, and it's quite exciting and a really fun challenge. So one tip to improve at this level 2 stage is at this stage it's important to learn where our air comes from and how to maximize getting it back out. Think of your lungs as 2 kind of long balloons on either side of your body. Picture putting air into these balloons and then work on pressing it back out as you play. So level 3 is an extension of level 2 and 1 in the fact that we need everything we've learned so far in order to take breaths in and learn how to efficiently get the air back out. So at this stage, we are now able to play full ascending and descending scales all in one breath, which is really quite fun. Simultaneously, we're getting so good at our fingerings and our finger combinations that we can have a few skills working on autopilot, which is awesome. And this means that we can start to focus on things that start to make a huge difference, including how to get more air in. We don't have a lot of time when we need to breathe. Now, you've probably noticed that already in my little example clip. There are secrets and real skills to becoming really good at getting the air in and making sure that it's a lot all at once. And then using our technical skills to not waste any of that air as it comes out. So when we were a brand new player a while ago, we would take what felt like a really huge breath just to play 1 or 2 notes. But then now, at this stage, we'll be able to take a deep one in and hold it for like 20 or more notes without problem. Now, of course, it depends on how quick these notes are flying by and other factors like this. but I think you get the gist of it. Now, one tip to improve at this level 3 stage, working daily through certain types of studies will really teach how to maximize breathing for flute players. I actually have these exercises and I show you exactly how and when to use them inside the members area of Learn Flute Online, where all of the lessons are prepared for you and set in neat packages called modules. They are all in perfect and progressive sequence, and I'm excited for you to enjoy them. Hey, level 4 is really getting up there. At this stage, a player can take a breath in and use it over a sequence of short phrases or even much longer phrases like I just demonstrated that have even more interest to them. And what I mean by more interest is that the phrases will have a mix of octaves and fancier articulation in them. Now, this mix of moving from low to high or higher notes back down to low notes is actually pretty taxing on our breath, as well as vibrato, and it kind of just uses up what we've taken in. So we really get to learn how to manage things at this stage. Now, it's a common subject to think and talk about during your daily practice session. So more than ever, we must plan out and be very strategic about where we breathe. We also have learned at this stage that keeping full of air all the time is one of the secrets to really good tone. More on this later. And don't forget that you can come in as a member at Learn Flute Online. You can discover and partake of all this knowledge and use it for yourself to cut the learning curve and really get you to a very enjoyable stage of playing abilities on your flute. Now for a tip to improve at this level 4 stage, learn to effectively use long tone studies. Some people wonder if they'll just suddenly and magically emerge on the other side. Well, wanting to have a good tone and last longer and longer in our phrases is something good to wish for, but it really actually doesn't happen on its own. I will help you find that new level by giving you the proper studies with focus on how to use the breath in and out. It is possible to take in a breath and have a big, full, fat tone as we exhale and last longer and longer over time. So I'd say level 5 is a really great stage to be in, but every practicing musician knows that each level we reach just seems to unlock the next one. It never ends. We're always striving for more ease in our playing abilities. So even more than ever, we work on small skills like breathing and playing technique and do what we can to maximize what we know. Our music has more fun and complexities in it, so we need to make sure we're able to take in breaths that allow us to play long phrases with octave jumping and articulation skills, including double and triple tonguing. And we need to know how to take it in and really press it out for skills like this. Now, one tip to improve at this level 5 stage, I'd say, is to always go back to the basics. It's really common to get pretty comfortable and assume that we already know all that, right? But if I've learned anything in my past 35 years of teaching, it is that improvement most of the time boils down to tightening up our basics. So think about it. Slacking off and lazily dropping our flute even just a little tiny bit on our face, even just a little bit, can cause even just a small millimeter of change in the way our air direction catches on that outer edge of our lip plate. This changes our tone, which means we're allowing more air to escape inefficiently. And this makes it so that our breath we took in doesn't last nearly as long because we've wasted some of it. So a big tip is to go back to the fundamentals often and learn to analyze these. It's more important than ever. So there you have it, the 5 levels of flute breathing from easy to pro. Now remember, consistent learning, practice, and patience are key to mastering flute playing techniques, including breathing. We've been doing it since the day we were born, but yet it takes a lot of practice to get it super efficient for flute players. And remember that I will help you get it right so that you can play some really beautiful music. I hope to see you inside the member walls of Learn Flute Online, where we have the gold level, the intermediate level, as well as the advanced level modules, just waiting for you to come partake at your own pace from the comfort of your own home and, of course, on your own schedule. So thanks for joining us today. My question for you is, what level of breathing do you consider yourself right now in your flute playing? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, like we talked about today? Well, leave your answer in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more flute tips and tutorials from me. And until next time, happy fluting!